Bitter criticism with Luna, our forecast journalist. Because she's hot, that's why. Now, how's the weather today, Luna? The weather is hot. The weather is good for make sports like me. Luna fit. Have you noticed that all the forecast people are hot? Well, people like hot people. That's what people likes. And talking about hot people, Bradley Blankenship. No, I mean Bradley Blankenship is a beautiful guy, but it's not because of that. He is the third best columnist, and I'm not no homo. But if you anyway, you can recognize that other man is beautiful. I will say more. I will say that maybe all Czech people from Czech Republic like him, all them are pretty, I guess. A lot of them are pretty. Eastern Europe, I guess Eastern Europe, Slavic people are beautiful. Anyway, so finally we have Bradley Blankenship, and is a good day because, oh, you know, maybe you know this. This is my thermic suit for winter, for snow. Well, I'm kind of hot right here, but I prefer to be hot than to get cold. I was 2 days ago, I was coming back home, and then the temperature dropped below, I don't know, it was really cold, not below 10 degrees, but maybe 10 degrees. So I was wearing summer clothes, and then the temperature dropped to 10 degrees, and well, and I was on a bus. The bus driver opened up the door just because he hates people. So a lot of people got cold. Last week I was drinking too much coffee. That was such a bad thing to do. I don't recommend you drink too much coffee. I didn't remember how coffee made you bad. I will complain again Pepe Escobar because he's always drinking so much coffee. Well, coffee is not good for your health neither, Pepe. I'm not saying that beer, alcohol is good, but coffee neither. Coffee destroy your belly. So I was weak. I get weak because of coffee. Because coffee gives you energy, but 2 days ago I was in this cold day, after drinking coffee the whole week, and I got super ill. I got a lot of fever. I was by now. So yesterday I didn't did the show. I didn't record news, and I get really cold, really ill, a lot of fever, and that's it. A lot of fever, and that's it. A lot of fever. I taking. So yeah, yesterday I didn't go outside, you know. I did nothing. I just go stay with my dogs. That was nice. My dogs are super nice. My dogs take care of me. They really care about me. They try to do their best to keep me happy, you know, to keep me happy. And that was a nice day because I was all day with my dogs. and that's it. I was taking paracetamol, but now I'm fine. I guess I'm completely fine. But my belly is. It was. I got stomach aches because of coffee. You know, I will not drink coffee anymore. Maybe I will drink beers next week. Maybe, but you know, coffee is worse than beers. That's the question, at least for me. So we have Bradley Blankenship. Finally, Bradley, where have you been? Our third journalist, our third analyst. Here they say that he's an American journalist, columnist, and political commentator, not an analyst. Well, there's a difference there. March 14, 2024, Home World News. Tehran is getting better infrastructure than New York thanks to China. I guess. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure what's the difference between political analyst and political commentator, but that's it. Bradley Blankenship is just a political commentator. Tehran is getting better infrastructure than New York thanks to China. Last week, Masoud Dorosti, the managing director of Tehran's bustling metro system, dropped a bombshell. After 7 years of intense negotiations, the Iranian capital is gearing up to welcome a whopping 791 sleek metro trains from China. It's a move set to transform the city's transit scene, injecting new life into a system that hasn't seen a serious upgrade in half a decade. But that's not all. Tehran's mayor Alireza Sakani threw in another ace. Throwing another ace from his sleeve last month, unveiling a flurry of contracts. This ace from his sleeve is like, yeah, I got that. You got that? It's like a cards play. So maybe that's why I like Bradley Blankenship. He talks colloquially. Yeah, he speaks colloquially, unveiling a flurry of contracts inked with Chinese giants, aimed at giving the city's infrastructure a serious facelift, from major transportation projects to ambitious construction ventures. China's fingerprints may soon be all over Tehran's urban landscape. Heck, they are even rolling up their sleeves to erect housing units in this sprawling metropolis of nearly 9 million souls. You know what I really like? Why I really like Bradley Blankenship is because he's American, and he's always criticizing properly. You know, he knows America from inside, and he knows a lot of things from America. He's a journalist, and he's always criticizing it. You know, you have criticism in first hand. You have bitter criticism. Woo! Last week, no, but that's not all. Tehran's mayor Alireza Sakani threw in another phrase from. No, this is I just read. For anyone who's ever wondered that the bustling streets of China's mega cities, the thought of Tehran sporting a metro system rivaling any of China's tier 1 cities isn't just a pipe dream. It's a tantalizing glimpse into the future. With its sleek trains zipping through immaculate stations, China's urban rail network sets the gold standard for public transportation worldwide. Could Tehran, a city boxing in by international sanctions, really outshine the likes of New York City's aging subway system? So the whole stuff is because New York there's a lot of problem. Maybe there's violence in the subway, the New York subway, New York system subway. You know, I have this fictional page on Facebook. I guess Instagram too. Fictional page, Chilitium. This is, as you know, this is Chile. Here we are in Chile. So this is a country full of lithium. But people here, but a reason I don't understand pretty well, maybe is human nature. They are losers. That's the simple way to put it. They are losers. They don't want to industrialize the lithium, you know? They don't want to produce. This is all neoliberalism. So I made this page, fictional page, to push forward the industrialization, to push industrialization forward. And yesterday I published this post saying that a partnership between China and Chile will drop electric cars to the half. We'll get cheaper. We will get cheaper electric cars. But that's not true. But that is the feeling, you know. If you have industry, you will have cheap things because you have industry and you have partnerships with China, and that's it. New York is doesn't have a good metro system. For anyone who's ever wondered, well, wouldn't actually be that hard, but it's worth rewinding a bit. This metro makeover isn't just a spur of the moment flying. It's part of a grand strategic partnership inked back in 2016 between Iran and China, and later bolstered in 2021 with a 25 years plan, with a target of $600 billion in annual bilateral trade by 2026, an increasing amount of which is done in the Chinese national currency. This pact isn't just about shiny new trains, it's about forging a bond that runs deep, touching on everything from trade and economics to transportation and beyond. Yeah, that sounds really, really great. And well, Iran is so important because they have oil. This is another news, like, yeah. At its core, the China-Iran partnership is a symptom of economic, political, and military notes echoing across the Middle East and beyond, while the US grapples with its own internal squabbles. Beijing and Tehran are busy causing up, flexing their muscles, and throwing down the gauntlet to Western hegemony in the region. So maybe, I guess Bradley Blankenship is watching our yoga session, isn't it? Maybe. Do you practice yoga, Bradley, there in Czech Republic? Yoga is necessary. Economically, this partnership is a match made in heaven. China's insatiable hunger for energy dovetails perfectly with Iran's vast oil and gas reserves, while Tehran sees Beijing as a lifeline amid mounting economic pressures and diplomatic isolation, with Western sanctions breathing down its neck. Embrace of China isn't just strategic, it's survival instinct. Oh yeah, definitely. So if you live in Iran, you will have Huawei cell phones, no problem. My cell phone over here is Huawei. By aligning with Beijing, Tehran aims to enhance its strategic autonomy, diversify its diplomatic and economic partnerships, and bolster its leverage on the global stage, presenting a united front against Western pressures and isolation. However, the burgeoning China-Iran alliance is not without its challenges and complexities. As Beijing deepens its engagement with Tehran, it risks alienating key regional players and drawing the ire of Western powers, wary of China's expanding influence. The stakes are high. With Beijing's The stakes are high, with Beijing's expanding influence drawing scrutiny and skepticism from all corners. Yet, within Iran itself, the path forward is anything but smooth. There is domestic dissent, with voices like Ahmad Khorram, a former minister under President Mohammad Khatami, decrying Beijing's encroachment on local turf as an affront to Iran's engineering prowess. And while trade figures paint a rosy picture with a paltry $12.5 billion exchanged last year compared to the lofty $600 billion goal, tensions simmer beneath the surface. I don't know this word. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I lost the word. Prowess, kind of. Yet, within Iran itself, the path forward is anything but smooth. There's domestic. Yeah, I just read that. Troubles don't end there. Recent squabbles over oil prices and diplomatic jousting in the Red Sea hint at deeper fissures within this budding alliance. But amidst the turbulence, one thing remains clear. The stakes are too high to ignore. Zooming out, the geopolitical chessboard takes shape, with China and Iran's strategic gambit reshaping the regional landscape. A 25-year deal signed in 2021 sets the stage for a bold new era of cooperation, with Beijing's vision for regional security and stability taking center stage. Uh, but not everyone's on board. But not everyone's is on board. Traditional adversaries such as Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states eye this burgeoning, I don't know this word, burgeoning alliance cautionally, wary of shifting tides in the Middle Eastern politics. Yet, even amid lingering tensions, glimmers of hope emerge, with China's role as a mediator facilitating a thaw. I don't know this word either. THAW, thaw in Saudi Arabian in Saudi Iranian relations last year. And then there's the elephant in the room: the U.S. and its band of allies, forever casting a shadow over regional affairs, as China lends a helping in revamping Tehran's metro. One might wonder if Uncle Sam is jealous, given that this handful of metro systems are rat factories. That, yeah, this kind of comment are nice because it's true. He's an American criticizing the subway in New York City. The bigger picture is clear. It's no longer the US that has a monopoly on trade, technology, or foreign direct investment. China is already the world leader in global infrastructure development and is outpacing the US in research and development. Before long, Washington's sanctions will be, as Jen Dujardin's character described it, a subphenomena, a subpoena. I don't know this word either. Subpoena from the US Department of Justice in The Wolf of Wall Street. Papier toilet. This I just missed the sentence anyway. The statements, views, and opinions expressed in this column are solely those of the author and do not necessarily represent those of Russia Today. Russia Today, woo! Well, it's nice. I will repeat this because I think a lot of people know that, and it's famous, you know. People say there's a lot of crime in New York, you know. People say New York City subway is not safe, and in my opinion, that's just capitalism. Capitalism is just terrible, in my opinion, you know. That's why I'm trying to speak English and to make my way to a better country like I don't know, China, I guess. I will try to end the last news, to read what I didn't I couldn't read from the last Pepe Escobar article. It was nice, was about China. I don't know if Pepe Escobar was in China, in mainland China. I don't remember where I stopped. Beijing will continue to steer the economic development. This is Pepe Escobar. The article from the last episode. The article calls Confident Dragon lays out modernization roadmap. Pepe Escobar, March 12, 5 days ago. I take this from his Telegram account, Rock and Roll Geopolitics. I would prefer synth pop. I prefer synth pop. Rock is overrated. Yeah, go Pet Shop Boys. But anyway, And Pepe, stop drinking so much coffee. At least with me, it destroyed my belly. I got stomach ache, diarrhea. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I got diarrhea by drinking coffee. I I didn't knew that. I didn't remember but diarrhea, but because of coffee. So yeah, think about Pepe Escobar bar. Do you remember the last episode I did Escobar bar? And Pepe Escobar, after that, he drank a Primitivo from Sicilia, a wine. I guess wine is too strong for me. I just drink beers. And I just drink just one can of beer in 2 days. The whole day, not just in the morning. I just drink in the morning just one beer. I'm not an alcoholic, please. So I'm gonna try to read what I missed. Beijing will continue to steer the economic development of Hong Kong and Macau and invest more in the crucial Greater Bay Area. I guess I read this, yeah. Which is the premier Southern China high-tech services and finance hub. Taiwan, of course, was central to the war report. Beijing fiercely opposes external interference, code for hegemon tactics. That will become even trickier in May, when William Lai Chite, who flirts with independence, becomes president. On defense, I guess I will have to read fast to run. On defense, there will be only a 7.2 increase in 2024, which is peanuts compared to the hegemon's defense budget, now approaching $900 billion. China's stands as $238 billion, even as China's national GDP is approaching the US. A great deal of China's defense budget will go for emerging tech, considering the immensely valuable lessons the PLA is learning out of the Donbass battlefield. I don't know which is PLA, but maybe it's something from Russia, isn't it? As well as the deep interactions part of the Russian-China strategic partnership. And that brings us to diplomacy. China will continue to be firmly positioned as a champion of the global south. That was made explicit by Foreign Minister Wang Yi in a press conference on the sidelines of the National People's Congress. Wang Yi's prioritized to maintain stable relations with major powers, join hands with its neighboring countries for progress, and strive for revitalization with the global south. Wang Yi once again stresses that Beijing favors an equal and orderly multipolar world and inclusive economic globalization. And of course, he could not allow U.S. Secretary of State Little Blinken, always out of his dip, to get away with his latest recipe. It is impermissible that those with the bigger fist have the final say. And it is definitely unacceptable that certain countries must be at the table with others can only be on the menu. That's Wang Yi say that. Impressive. And of course, he could not allow the U.S. Secretary of State Little Blinken, BRI as a global accelerator. Crucially, Wang Yi reemphasized The drive for high quality cooperation within the Belt and Road Initiative BRI framework. He defined BRI as an engine for common development of all countries and an accelerator for the modernization of the whole world. Wang Yi actually said he's hopeful about the emergence of a global South movement in global governance, in which China and BRI play an essential part. Li Qiang's work report, incidentally, had only one paragraph on BRI, but then we find this nugget, as Li refers to the new international land sea trade corridor, which links China landlocked southwest with the eastern seaboard via Guangxi province. Translation: BRI will be focusing on opening new economic routes for China's less developed regions. I just read that. I just read all this before. I just gonna run. Diversifying from the previous emphasizing on Xinjiang. Dr. Wei Wansong is a member of the CPP-CC and also the Chinese Peasant and Workers Democratic Party, which happens to be one of the 8 non-CCP parties in Chinese politics. Very few outside of China know about this. He offers some fascinating comments on Belt and Road Initiative to Fengmian News, and also stressed the need to tell China's story well to avoid conflict and incidents along the BRI road. For that, Wei suggests the need to use an international language in telling these stories. That implies using English. As for what Wang Yi said in this press conference, in fact, that was discussed in detail at the closed door Central Conference on Foreign Affairs work in late 2023, where it was established that China faces strategic opportunities to rise its international influence, appeal and power, despite high winds and choppy waters. The key takeaway, I guess I read all this. I guess I'm not gonna make to the end again. No, I'm gonna read now. I will finish. Yeah. Long article. The boys want to go out. I cannot release these dogs here. So yeah, crisis. At least Luna is not barking. The key takeaway: the narrative war between China and the hegemon will be pitiless. Beijing is confident it's capable of offering stability, investment, connectivity, and sound diplomacy to the whole global South, instead of forever wars. That is reflected, for instance, by Ma Xingming, the Chinese Foreign Ministry's legal advisor, telling the International Court of Justice that the Palestinians have the right to armed resistance when it comes to fighting the colonialist, racist, apartheid state of Israel. Therefore, Hamas cannot be defined as a terrorist organization. This is the overwhelming position across the lands of Islam and across the majority of the global South, linking Beijing with fellow BRICS member Brazil and President Lula, who compared the genocide in Gaza to the Nazi genocide in World War II. I just read this. No, I'm losing my time. How to resist collective West sanctions. the two sessions did reflect Beijing's full understanding that hegemon, containment, and destabilization tactics remain the biggest challenge to China's peaceful rise. But simultaneously, it reflected Chinese confidence on its diplomatic clout as a force of peace. I know this word. CLOUT. Yeah, CLOUT. Clout. As a force of peace, stability, and economic development. It's an extremely sensitive balance that only the Middle Kingdom seems capable of pulling off. Then there's the Trump factor. I just read this again. Economist Ding Yifan, a former deputy director of the World Development Institute, part of the State Council's Development Research Center, is one among those who's aware China is learning key lessons from Russia on how to resist collective West sanctions, which will be inevitable against China, especially if Trump is back at the White House. And that brings us to the absolute key issue being currently discussed in Moscow within the Russia-China partnership, and soon as among the BRICS alternative settlement payments to the US dollar, increasing trade among friendly nations, and controls on capital flight. Nearly all Russia-China trade is now in yuan and rubles. As much as Russian trade with the EU fell by 68% in 2023, trade with Asia rose by 5.6%. Russia and China, with new landmarks reached with China, to $240 billion, and India $65 billion, and 84% of Russia's total energy exports going to friendly countries. The two sessions did not get into detail of some extremely thorny geopolitical issues. For instance, India's version of multipolarity, considering New Delhi's unresolved love affairs with Washington, is quite different from China's. Everyone knows, and no one more than Russians, that within BRICS 10, the biggest strategic issue is how to accommodate the perpetual tension between India and China. What's clear, even behind the fog of goodwill enveloping the two sessions, is that Beijing is fully aware of how the hegemon is deliberately already crossing a key Chinese red line, officially stationing permanent troops in Taiwan. Since last year, US Special Forces have been training Taiwanese in operating Black Hornet nano micro drones. Black Hornet nano micro drones. Sounds great. Black Hornet nano micro drones. I won one of them. What a destructive place is the world, isn't it? In 2024, US military advisors are deployed full-time at army bases on Kinmen and Penghu Islands. Those actually driving US foreign policy behind the crash test dummy at the White House believe that even as they are powerless to handle the Houthi al-Sarala in the Red Sea, they are capable of poking the dragon. No posturing will alter the dragon's roadmap. the CPPCC's political resolution on Taiwan calls for unity all patriotic forces, deepened integration and development in various fields across the Taiwan Straits, and go all out on peaceful reunification. That will translate in practice into increased economic trade cooperation, more direct flights, more cargo ports and logistics bases. As Project Ukraine goes down, the drain as Project Ukraine goes down the drain of history, Project Taiwan will go on overdrive. Forever wars never died. Bring it on. The dragon is ready. Yeah. So this is republished from Strategic Culture Foundation by permission of author or representative. Global South youth flux to isolated. Oh no, this is another news. Well, I guess you can, in a great article like this, you can make a joke in the end. Like, bring it on, yeah. The dragon is want to fight. What, that was nice. And the Bradley Blankenship says the New York subway is full of rats. Yeah. So it's funny. It's colloquial. I mean, this is not academy, you know. Academy is so stupid. So I guess that's why Pepe Escobar didn't keep studying to master degree to. I just guess. Do you want to listen me singing something from? Yeah, I just would put my own record. Listen, my own. My own voice. You will hear me singing Radio Gaga. Radio Gaga. I guess what I'm doing here is radio. I'm not sure if you can listen this. I guess not. It's too low. Too low. So it's yoga time. Woo! I'm still kinda dizzy because of the temperature. It was not a cold. It was just a fever. I got fever without cold. Can you imagine that? Oh look, this is my next program. I just will do a test here. Can you see that? I will start reading news in Portuguese. I will read economic news in Portuguese. That is what, it's just a joke. It's just like but commodity, because bundes it means but, and yoga time, yeah. Well, and commodities and boom. Anyway, I will explain that if you didn't get it. A short session of yoga. So yeah, yoga is releasing dogs. That's what yoga means. You know, to recording covers is so great because before recording you had zero idea about exactly what are they singing about.
Let's hope you never leave, old friend. Like all good things, on you it depend. So stick around, cause we might miss you when we grow tired of all this visual. You have your time, you have the power, you get to have, you feel the sound. Radio. All we hear is Radio Gaga.
That's not enough. I will do a little more, but that's enough for this is like a obsession I have with this 47 minutes because back in Brazil maybe it's still there, but I don't listen anymore because I'm living in Chile now. And back in Brazil there was a news channel called Rede TVT, Rede TVT, and this program has the best news programs, news channel. It was the best news channel. They had a news program, and to have a real labor left wing news program is so important.